Hi, this is Robin, and I've donated to the Global Euro Tour. I know it will make a difference, so I encourage anyone else to do the same. You will make a massive difference.
Hey everyone, this is James. This is UK Truth 2222 on YouTube, and we need your help to keep the wheels moving all the way through to the end. Please donate. Keep it flat.
Because I'm a big fan of the Global Tour, and for anybody who has already forgotten, I'm doing funds matching for the Global Tour. So anyone that wants to donate, I will absolutely match funds in their name. And you can contact, I think Robin Campbell's probably the good point of contact on that. So yeah, as you guys know, Global Tour is continuing on through Europe, and it still has a ways to go, and I'm a huge supporter of it. Global Tour, make it happen. We can change the world. See you guys.
Hi everybody, it's Sven from Bournemouth. Just came across a book today called The Superior Person's Book of Words. I'm a big fan of words, always have been. I was always pretty good at English at school and everything else because I quite enjoyed writing and creating. However, words mean nothing without actions. So on that note, if you can, please donate $1, €1, or £1, or all three if you're feeling particularly exotic. But we must keep the show on the road. We have to keep it going. We've got some good momentum going. Let's keep the show on the road. This is reality. I'm not some star stood in front of a green screen pleading for money for somebody who you don't even know exists. This is reality. So we've got to keep the show on the road. And not just that, what's going to happen to the Discord if we don't? All right, think about it. Words alone mean nothing. It's actions. Take it easy. Bye.
Hello there. Are you there? Yeah, this is Leo, supporting the Global Tour. I've just put a tenner, so I've just donated a tenner to the Global Tour and wishing all well on the Global Tour. And Lisa, Jack, and Dave have done a superb job through Europe. Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't ask for more. It's just so much brilliant flat smacking going on. You know, we're opening a lot of eyes and creating a lot of awareness, which is great. So if you could donate to the tour, well done. It's not misspent. It's spent on the people and food and stuff like that for them, and a cup of tea maybe, things like that. So, you know, you're doing them proud. So if you could donate to the tour, much appreciated and well done to you. I'm going to donate a £10 now. So yeah, all good, and wishing everyone well, and the newbies what will be coming on the tour as well, I understand. So that'll be Dave Mannell and Dave Meakin, I think it is, but definitely Dave Mannell. So all the best to them, and well done to Lisa, Jack, and Dave Murphy, what have just come off it. So well done to you all.
But this video is an important video for me to make. The current movement making its way across Europe, trying to spread the truth, the real truth. This is the real truth movement. This cooperation and collaboration, this is real, man. This is real unity. This is real community. If you could donate just the cost of a cup of tea or coffee, that would be enough, man. Donate whatever you can. Thank you.
Hey everyone, Amanda here. Just wanted to say I have donated to the Global Tour. $1 from each person would be greatly appreciated for the rest of the duration of the tour. We need to support our guys and gals out there fighting the good fight. Love you guys. You guys are doing great. Keep up the great work.
Hey everyone, Paul on the plane here. Just a quick reminder that the Global Euro Tour is continuing to roll across Europe, and they are continuing to spread truth town to town, city by city, country by country, and they need our support. So please join me in donating even just a couple of dollars. Look, you're probably going to be spending it on a coffee or a sandwich or a hamburger or something, this week. Take those funds that you would have spent and put them towards the tour. Use the PayPal me or the GoFundMe links, and let's make sure that the tour is able to complete this epic 14 or 15,000 mile journey that they're planning. 39 countries, bringing truth to cities and towns across the continent. What a monumental effort, and it takes a community to get behind them. Look, they got ferry fees and tolls, and obviously the diesel fuel costs, and yet every little bit counts. Every little dollar, quid, euro, what you can spare is going to count. So join me in supporting the tour, and we'll see you on the road.
Hi guys. Okay, just try and find you. Hi. Can you? Oh, sorry. I've repeated me. And
please go ahead and check out his channel. He's done some.
Hello.
Hasn't he?
Yeah. Needs. There you go. Can't. I can't multitask. So, how are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Number one. Good. You feeling better?
We're warm, and we were cold earlier.
Yeah, and Lisa, you're feeling much better. You look better today.
I still haven't recovered, but I guess I am getting better. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I can hear it in your voice. You do sound a lot better. And then we've got Sven. Sven has caught what Lisa had, so you're not feeling too good.
I think we got it at the same time. Actually, it seemed to be when we were in Bordeaux.
No. I think he caught it from you, Lisa. I think that's what happened.
No, I don't think he did.
You had the day off, so you're recuperating, and hopefully you'll be okay tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
Well, I'll definitely be okay for Saturday.
Oh yeah, of course. It's a travelling day tomorrow. It's a day of rest, isn't it? Absolutely, just materialise in Lisbon, and of course there's no travelling whatsoever, no long journeys, no tiresome. You just arrive, don't you?
Basically, it's a good opportunity. It's a good opportunity for me to rest today, and then the rest of tomorrow, and I'll be absolutely fine for Saturday. And even tomorrow, I'll do some impromptu stuff with the guys as well.
Yeah, good. You haven't come down with anything yet, Dave? Are you okay?
No, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, thankfully, I'm doing well. And Alexander, he had a little bit of a sniffle of cold. He's all right, and his mother's doing well. So the Trinities can't complain.
So we have a new addition to the tour bus.
We do.
Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
It's now
Who are you?
George Grimm, right here in the house.
Hi, everybody.
So it's really good to have you on board. So what do you think? What do you think of the motorhome? Is it? Will it do just for a few days a week?
I love it. I'm hoping that in a week I'll still be wanting to able to go home, because it seems a bit contagious, this tour. You know, it's like once you get in, you don't want to go home.
No, that's right. Again, I'd love to just pack up my job tomorrow and just join you guys and get out there, but you know, it's really depressed. I enjoy watching you guys out there, but depressed at the same time. So mixed feelings, because you know, like I should be out with you, you know, like, but maybe next time, you know, like maybe next year or something. I actually fancy, and lots of people have mentioned it, I fancy doing a summer tour. Can we not do a summer tour?
It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I
said that earlier as well. I mean, we're hitting. Summer tour will be great.
Yeah, I would have loved to have done it, but we just didn't have the funds in place or anything, you know, like to pull that off this year. But yeah, I mean, for next year, well, we've got a camper van. We're halfway there already for next year, aren't we? You know, so maybe we can bring it all forward a bit. So what do you think then, Howard? What was your day? I'll come straight to you first. What was your day like today?
I've had better days. I seemed to trigger one guy who wanted to punch me in the face. It was one of them where, you know, he seemed to have a little problem from the get-go, and because I saw he was going to stand around laughing, I said, well, if you're not willing to have a conversation, it's better that you just go, because, you know, we only want to inform you and give you information for you to check for yourself. We're not here to argue, but at the same time, it's not fair that you stand here laughing at what we're doing if you're not going to have a conversation with us. And he just went boom, So I could have handled it better. I could have just left him to it and left them laughing. But, you know, apart from that, I've done all right. I'm happy. I've spent the last few months wasting time on Facebook and YouTube arguing with people that aren't ever going to get it. So to get back out on the street and talk to strangers that don't judge you, I recommend it to everyone out there. It's much more productive and fulfilling, even if you do get the odd arsehole that wants to fight you. In general, it's much more positive.
I'd have to say though, I mean, like in my eyes, it's 95% all positive, and you get 5% a few idiots. You know, like it's not just what people think. It's just that people see the idiots and think, "Oh God, it must all be like that." It isn't. You know, like and then all of a sudden you get about 10% of just amazing people that are so clued in and they get it quick. You know, and you feel as though you've made an impact. You know, like them people are out there. That they're the ones I'm hunting down for. You know, like just to connect with those who get it. They get it right away. You know, like I was one of them people.
And Jason, I don't know if you saw my message earlier. We also had a bonus, a guest appearance. Another YouTuber turned up because he saw that one of the live streams, and he said, "Hey Howard, I'm Praise the Shrinking Sun." I was like, "No way! I've been talking to you for months." So I finally got to meet somebody that I've been speaking to on Facebook. And he stayed with us for about an hour, giving out flyers, also Spanish, so it came in really useful. And if anyone out there is close to the locations that we're going to, please come and give us a hand. The more the merrier.
Yeah, that's my what's it, ill doing this morning. I was about to send out a thumbnail of your location and time and everything this morning, but I got a call from my work that I had to leave 2 hours early this morning, and kind of messed me all up, and I lost time in doing that. But I'll try and get something out there for you tonight. For well, we've got Lisbon's next, Portugal. So hopefully that we can get lots of people down there. That there must be, you know, like some people that want to meet you. So we'll try and broadcast that as far and wide as much as possible, and hopefully we can get people on the street with you guys. They're there. We know they're there because, you know, we had the Flat Earth Conference not so long ago. I believe that was that in Spain or was that in Portugal, Howard? You might know that.
I couldn't hear you there, Jason. Say again.
We recently had the Flat Earth Conference in was it Spain or Portugal? We've just had one.
It was in Spain.
Probably Spain. I remember some guys were talking about asking if I was going, but I knew it was similar date. So I thought I'll save myself for this.
Well, I believe it sold out. It did really, really well. So we know these people are here, you know, like, so hopefully they can find their way down to meet you guys. Fingers crossed. So today also you guys you started off in one location and then you moved to another. What happened? Was it too quiet or?
Well, we went to look at the first location, which was the prime one that we'd agreed, and there was quite a lot of police presence already. And then just as Jack and I were scoping it out, he gets a police car, pulls up and asks him for his ID. So we felt like, you know, we were going to get the wrong kind of experience there. And on our way back to pick up the cannon, because we'd come up to scope the town, it was a kilometer or so away from the cannon, from the bus. So on our way back, we came past this mayor, what was it called now? I forget now the name of it.
Like the major square or something.
That was the other square that I think I sent you. I've got the name.
Well, they were busy doing a whole bunch of development works for their Christmas fair or whatever. So it was cordoned off. Some of it was cordoned off, and we thought we could set up against these barriers. It was quite windy, and so fortunately Jack had tied it off because we turned into a sail later on. But it was nice in the sunshine. Just perhaps the wrong demographic for us. You know, we found people were bustling through pretty quickly. Those that we did manage to snare most often were Spanish. So it was great to have Howard along and, you know, to call him over and go, should have a word. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it was a pretty good day. Some good conversations were had, and we represented the Globe Light Tour.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Madrid.
Now, I heard you say, Howard, that everyone on the coast are a little bit more chilled, a bit more relaxed, and here wasn't the case. A little bit more on the opposite.
Yeah, it's like if you go to New York and walk down the main street, it's like walking against the tide. If you walk down California, you're in the wave. It's totally different. You know, the hustle and bustle of the big cities. So this is the capital of Spain. So they're known for being quite bossy and quite direct. So yeah, it was a little bit different attitude than I'm used to, but it's all experience, and it's been a great day all in all. I think it was a good warm up for me. I'm really looking forward to Gibraltar and Valencia.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Gibraltar. I was hoping that you guys, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but to go right on top of the mountain and maybe do it, because you went to San Marino and you were up quite high, and all the tourists came up and like to see you in San Marino, and I kind of thought that maybe that might be a good idea for Gibraltar. You know, take I think they've got a lift that takes you up there, and you haven't got Adam freaking out over the lift.
I think they have got a lift because I've been there.
They have
I
they?
don't remember.
Oh, they
No,
have.
they haven't.
Oh, well.
There's about 3 different steps going up different parts of it.
All right. Okay. So, do you think it's
like
if you've been there, at least, do you think it would be easy enough to get the cannon up there, or is it too hard? Do you think?
I think from what I remember, it's maybe like a half-hour walk or something.
Oh wow,
Like it could even be more. I don't remember exactly, but it was about that. It was kind of quite a trek.
I was going to say
and
that.
There's lots of monkeys that kind of, eat your food up there as well.
Well, that'd be interesting. Well, so you got all the banners open, and then you got all these monkeys all jumping all over the banners.
Get them to give out some flyers for us.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it was an idea that I thought it might be a good look for you. There's going to be obviously a lot of tourists that will be going up there, but I'll leave it to you guys. We'll see where else is on offer in Gibraltar. Yeah, I'm kind of I mean, Lisbon as well. I mean, Lisbon's going to be really busy. I'm confident Lisbon's going to be just as busy as it was today. It should be really good. Anyway, so I'm sort of running out of things to say because I haven't watched an awful lot today. What else happened? Tell us what happened.
I converted Luigi.
I seen that one. Isn't he meant to be in Italy? What's he doing over here?
I'm not sure, but we've got one down. It's just Mario to go.
Right. Yeah, no, I watched that. That was fantastic. That was. But you said all that. That was all in Spanish, wasn't it? We need to get a lot of that. We need to get some translation there for us. So exactly what was said. Especially we had people visitors in was it Frankfurt when we had them all come into the camper van, and there were lots of you were speaking. You were speaking German then, Sven, with the other chap. We could
Stefan, yeah.
It was such a great conversation and all that, but I think we need to get some translations on that as well, because it seemed like was it an opportunity too good to miss there. We'd like to.
Well, at one stage there were like 3 different conversations going on, and it was mixing between English and German across the room. Remember? And it was fascinating to sort of follow because everybody knew what was being said because everybody in the room could speak either English or German or both. So that's why that conversation was so good. I'd love to watch that again. It was about 50 minutes long, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great conversation, but I was just dying to know what was being said, on the German front, so yeah, maybe we could do that again, and you could do a voiceover or something in English, Sven.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah, it won't be too bad.
I could put some football commentary over it or something.
Yeah, we could also do.
Well, I was talking about John Watson.
Yeah. I mean, Howard had a few conversations in Spanish. He had one with some woman who was a little bit antagonistic. She started in, was it Spanish, and then it went to English and that, and then was that the science? She was into a science or something.
She was tough. She was real tough. She just didn't want to check the science. She wanted to tell me that she's a scientist, and we're used to that. But it was that she started. I asked her what language she wanted to talk in. She said Spanish. So I start speaking Spanish, and then halfway through the conversation, she demands that I start speaking English because I'm English, and I'm like, okay. So it was like, she didn't want to fly. She didn't want to do the experiment. She just wanted me to know that I don't speak very good Spanish, in her opinion, and I shouldn't question her about science because she's a scientist.
That couldn't offer anything.
That doesn't want to verify our results. So I'm saying, well, that's not very scientific, is it? But have a nice day.
I think she asked you your qualifications.
Yeah, she wanted to know my qualifications. I said, well, I've got 5 senses, and I've confirmed them with repetition, cameras, and thermometers, and I'm pretty sure about my results. I would love you to verify them, being that you're so qualified. And she just and walked away. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I didn't get 2, but everyone else, I'm really confident that we dropped some good seeds today. Even if some of them didn't take flyers, we got respectful commentaries. We got good conversations with the majority of people today.
Yeah. I'm just right. I'm gonna give a few shout outs because I'm terrible at this. Give a few shout outs to a few people who have joined us. Last time I did this, I failed miserably in giving a few shout outs. Just to let everybody know, Roxanne will be joining us at some point. She's having a difficult time trying to get here tonight, but fingers crossed she'll be joining us momentarily soon. Shout out to Brian Staveley. Thank you very much for joining us. And Ricardo, Despina. Despina, isn't that Lucy? That Despina. Was that Lucy? Was it?
Oh, is it Lucy? Yeah, I think so.
I thought it was.
It's Lucy, a big her.
Yeah, I think it is. She'll probably say.
I think it was it
Despina.
the name from the or something?
If it's dog, tell me the name again and I'll recognise it.
Despina. Despina. Despina.
2 names that sounded very similar, both together. That was her name.
All right. Okay.
And I saw her because I saw her in the chat today, and she told me it was her.
Oh well, maybe it isn't then. I thought it was, but you know, I'm sure she'll say anyway. Mightum Atom, thanks for joining us. Clive Albert, thank you for joining us. Kieran, Mighty I don't want to be repeating things. Amanda, Globe Denier, thanks for joining us. We've got Robin. Hiya, Robin. Thanks for joining us. National Memorial Gardens. Thank you for joining us. And we have, I'm just scrolling down, Critical Inception. Thank you for joining us. Hi, love from Lucy and John. Oh yeah, Dogson Robson. That was hi, or love from Lucy and John. Dogson Robson. There you go, Lucy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the one. Hi, Lucy. Hi, John.
Hiya.
Then we got Jennifer Winterburn, Stephen Watson, Daz Gobzine. Daz Gobzine. That's a great name, Gobzine. Anyway, we have Dragon Morningstar, Emmanuel Operman. We have, sorry, there's quite a lot of people here. I'm going to try and whiz down as much as possible. We've got Mad Geek Spaniard in Barcelona. So hopefully he'll be coming out to join you guys when you hit Barcelona. I would hope so. You can't come on our chat with telling us you're from Barcelona without going to Barcelona. We have Flat Earth Vader. Let's see this video.
I think he likes to think he lives on a ball. That
guy. Yeah. I just seen like giving a shout out to someone who's a ball.
Yeah. He's spinning. He's on the underside of some ball.
Yeah.
Rain falling upwards towards his center.
Hey, Jason, did you say that Flat Earth Spaniard or something is listening now?
Yes. Yes, something like that. Yes. I'll just go back.
Hola, campeón. Si estás interesado en ayudarnos, por favor, contacta conmigo y te ayudo a encontrarnos. Por favor, ayuda a echarnos un mano. Encima que tengo el acento malísimo.
He was just asking to get out of here in Spanish.
Yeah,
This is where I am. Send the troops in now.
Yeah, I'm not a celebrity, but get me out of here.
Yeah. 12 hours are enough. Yeah.
Who else? What's it? Shout out to Ninja Man. Hiya. And we have also, getting there, nearly at the bottom. Okay. So, I'm Raymond. Hi, thanks for joining us, Raymond. And Mad Geek Spaniard said, not in Barcelona. The last conference was in Barcelona. But he's still a Mad Geek Spaniard. So hopefully at some point.
Thank you. I sneeze for the camera so that people believe that I have a cold.
Cold. So is it a cold, or do you have man flu?
Is it cold or man flu?
Is it cold or man flu? It's both, actually, if you really want to know. I'm cold and it's man flu, yeah.
It is.
I was suffering earlier, man. I'm all right now.
I can verify he wasn't well. He wasn't well today at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Andrea helped me out with some decent warm beverages and good talking to, wasn't it?
Yeah. Will.
You're leaving them all on their own and deserting the troops, and so I'm awake now.
Yeah.
No
in more ways than one. So a shout out to Martin as well. He's just joined. Mad Geek Spaniard said if I could go to Valencia, I would. Not sure yet. It's the closest. So
come on down. Everyone who comes down really enjoys the opportunity. Really enjoys the opportunity, and it's great for us too.
I'm just having a quick look at some
open again in this type of way, So if anybody's got an opportunity to join,
it's once in a lifetime.
It can very well be once in a lifetime. When are we in Valencia? After Gibraltar, I think. So it's Lisbon, day off, Sunday, Monday, Gibraltar, day off Tuesday, Wednesday, Valencia. I think that's just off the top of my head.
Is that right, Jason? Wednesday we're in Valencia.
Okay, so it was Lisbon Saturday, and then Gibraltar was Monday, Valencia is Wednesday, followed by Barcelona Thursday, and then you're off to Andorra on Friday.
Well, I might be off to Andorra.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely in for Barcelona, 100%.
Awesome, absolutely awesome. I just a couple of shout outs for the donations. We had a donation from Dean. Thank you very much. And Clive again, one of our regular donations. Thank you very much. We had a donation from Frank. That was late last night. I think that was. We also had another, and you have to hear this, guys, another donation from Anders for £395. So Anders is currently our biggest donator so far. We've no one comes close to Anders, and thank you.
Thank you, Anders. Thank you very much. You enable us to get real fruit with that money and actual loaves of bread rather than the crumbs that we've been eating.
Vitalized.
Yeah. We can now substitute the hard bench for a cushion with that money and still have some more to have a shower. So thank you very much.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
I remember. I think he was he from Sweden. I think he was. But one of them countries there, and without a doubt, I will be going there to meet him. He needs a proper big man hug from me, which is on the way. Yeah.
Give him the bumper.
Yeah, the bumper prize.
Yeah.
It's rolling off now, isn't it? I think that all depends whether or not Jason survives the garage.
The garage. I don't mind going in the garage. You put me in the garage. That's quite okay for me. I as long as we keep the heat still rolling in the garage, then that's fine. You know?
Yeah, in Scandinavia, I think you're going to need the heat
Yeah.
from the garage.
Yeah.
We've got to try to sort it that you don't get the.
Otherwise, we might be removing you in a icicle form.
Yeah, but he would float a whole lot better then, wouldn't he? Because his density would be, with buoyancy, would be greater. Would be gravity would be pulling on you less.
Gravity
when you
would,
die.
yeah.
I think that's what happens when a body dies. It loses gravitational attraction.
Yeah,
which is why they bury them 6 foot down so they don't float eventually.
Yeah. Well, I think they lose all general attraction really because it's not a very nice looking thing,
Well,
body in terms of no. But
well, let's respectfully move on.
Well, yeah, let's move on from the deaf to the living.
Yeah. Well, as Mad Geek Spaniard said, and quite rightly, we do have another situation very similar to Paris. Like Barcelona's going through a lot of political problems there at the moment. People are very angry there, he says. Yeah, I think it's exactly the same as what's happening in Paris. So
a never-ending series of hobgoblins with which to frighten the populace. This is the purpose of government.
I think what we need to do, maybe, if you agree, is that we might not necessarily go to the very city centre. We might go to one of the outskirt villages or something, or somewhere a bit more quieter, away from the city centre. I don't think,
even a big park in Barcelona, somewhere friendly.
Yeah,
where free living types would come out.
Yeah,
university, you get some students.
Well, yeah, we could even look at I don't know, a couple of universities or something. Like that might be interesting. I'll leave it. I'll let you guys brainstorm over that, and then
Let's go to Gibraltar first, eh?
Yeah. Let's get through.
And a bit of Valencia as well.
Let's get through Portugal and
let's do the other stuff.
Little Britain.
Yeah, one day at a time.
Barcelona's all very well and good, but how do you know each other?
And living this 24/7 is, it's more than a week in a year. I mean, we're a year and a week. It feels like forever that Adam left the van, and almost forever since you joined this van.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a long time, 24 hours, and Valencia or Barcelona is a long way away.
Yeah, still a few days yet until Barcelona, but we're looking forward to getting to Lisbon tomorrow and setting up our stall and hitting the.
Well, actually, we're hoping to because we got a day off tomorrow, and we've done quite a bit of the drive. We're hoping to get going by fairly mid-morning-ish. I think we haven't fully agreed this, but if we can get going like mid-morning, we could be at the seaside about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and just have a few hours to just dip our toes in the water and stretch our legs and get a little bit further than 100 meters from this camper van in our downtime. That would be nice. So that's what we're hoping to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then drive in the following morning. Yeah, so we should be an hour out of the city.
About an hour out you are. Oh, sorry, you will be about an hour from the city.
Yeah, tomorrow night, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully find somewhere that's, like really nice plush to stay, with grass and trees and things like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. It's a shame that and it'll have to be next tour, I'm afraid. To put in quite a few days in between each next destination. It'd be nice that you could at least spend 3 days or so in a destination and then off to the next one, so that you can get a feel for the place and maybe do 2 locations in one place.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, because all the effort in moving between places and the cost of moving between places. If you reduce the number of locations by say 40%, but increase the contact time by 50%, the crew would be less tired because of the amount of less movement.
Yeah,
and also obviously the cost of moving around, with all the taxes and fuels and whatnot. So time and money would be saved.
And definitely a summer tour would be good because sometimes people we're still here. Sometimes people don't want to stop in the cold weather. They want to keep.
We've just been zapped.
Yeah, we need to get another leisure battery put in the van so that you've got enough power for the whole evening.
See, this is what we have to.
Yeah, this is what we have to put up with. This is life on the camper.
Shall I start the van? It's doing noise though.
Okay, we're gonna have to start the van now. You see, this is heavy stuff.
No, just, well, okay.
Yeah,
well,
the keys. I've got keys here. Yeah.
We're starting the van. If you'll have to
You can
just
see it
bear
better
with
there.
us, we can talk you through some of our encounters today.
Well,
We had an encounter with officialdom. A parking attendant came and took a photo of the van. She wasn't interested in the Globli information. She was more interested in the parking ticket and the fact that we couldn't stay there for more than 4 hours. In the end, we decided to take an extra 2 hour, take a chance, you know, take the risk of another fine, yet another fine. Hey,
There we are.
and then there was light.
So that was a little bit of non-active contact.
We didn't have the big
We
lights
got
on.
we got the security guard here, though, didn't we?
Oh yeah,
We just have the small lights on.
It just seemed bright now.
but somehow a lot brighter in here. So.
Yeah. But yeah, we got the security guard from here in the location we're at now. So.
Oh yeah.
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
He asked us to move the bus forward 2 or 3 yards, and he got
flat smacked.
Delicately smacked, you know, which was nice.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
But
brilliant.
I have to say, while I've got the opportunity, that it was fantastic again having a local language speaker in Howard this time. It makes a huge difference because you know those contacts, so many of them would just slip through your hands. But you know, you had a few that, well, they would not have stopped were it not for Howard's Spanish. So
Yeah.
great work. Well done.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining us. He took an overnight bus to join us.
So if we could have someone Portuguese.
Yeah, we could really do with some
Yeah,
Portuguese.
Lisboa.
That
Let's
would
see
be
if we
really
can get some Lisboians.
Am I right in thinking though? I mean, in Portugal, they would still have quite a lot of Spanish people speaking as well, though, wouldn't they?
I don't know.
Different language. It's not the same,
No
is it?
idea. But it might be worth if we start putting some adverts out, like just on Facebook groups, like, are you in Lisboa area? Could you come downtown and help with the activity? You know, I'm thinking about putting a little message out myself for the Spanish area.
I think
Maybe we
Lisa
could do
was doing something like that, wasn't you, Lisa? You reached out to quite a lot of groups as well, though, didn't you?
No, I suggested other people should because it's too difficult. for me to
Oh
do
right,
it.
you I thought you were doing it. I mean,
I was when it was.
No, I was just saying that somebody else should. I would have done it if I was at home, and this is not so easy on the bus.
well, I do. I share out and reach out to what was it? Oh God, what is it called? The World. I will tell you in a second. I keep forgetting its name.
Worldwide. World War
Yeah.
II.
I'm just trying to.
Come to think of it, I do know somebody who's into flat earth who lives in Portugal, but she lives on the land somewhere, and I don't know whether she'd be able to come out, but it's worth asking.
Yeah, there's it's funny because I'm one of the admin for it as well, and I keep forgetting the World Flat Earth Association. They've actually done really well now. I mean, I think they're up to 3,500 members, and that's they only started this year. You know, like they've done really well. It's headed by Vicar Drazif. If I remember right, he does live in. Oh God, is it Spain or Portugal? Oh, I have. I'm going to have to reach out to him again because I've actually had a video chat with him. He's really nice. He is. So I'll reach out to him again. Hopefully, he can get in touch with you guys. He is local somewhere. I say local, give or take 500 miles.
It's a big old country, especially.
It's a big old country. Yes, of course. You know. Yeah, no, good. I'm just going to give a little refresh and see any other donations. Although again, we occasionally have this big donation, and then it goes quiet for a while. We're actually ticking by, and we're doing okay, but we're certainly not. We certainly don't have enough to get us to the finish line yet. But it's working. It's happening. You guys are getting us there on the way. Just had Kieran, thank you very much for your donation as well. Thank you very, very much.
Kieran.
Yeah, Kieran's got another regular donator. I'll have a quick peek up and see if there was super chats, because you don't actually see on this platform that I'm using, which is Roxanne's.
Today was like a cold and windy day. Actually, I wasn't getting much traction. You know, it can be a little bit frustrating for a guy who wants to just deliver, you know, little pieces of oratory. So, but I was feeling like, you know, there is people who are, you know, really backing this, you know, and it would be a real shame if I wasn't able to deliver them, you know, something despite the hardships. I'm not trying to. I'm not having a go at you, Sven, for taking the day off. You know, today and a day off tomorrow. The day off the day before that. I mean, it must start to feel like a holiday for you. But you've been great, and actually, you know, but it is for more than just my own. You know, I know there's people behind this, and you know, you want to make good on that commitment, that energy that people are putting in. So but just know that it is. It's cold. The fingers were freezing. I was shivering, but it was, you know, worth it. So.
I think we were kind of naive. We thought that Madrid was going to offer us like some sort of milder temperatures, and we were a bit shocked when it ended up being not so much that.
Yeah, and I was expecting like a whole lot more kind of gay, joyful, you know, samba-like people, because I've only really ever been to Spain, like on the coast, where it's all summertime and people are, you know, all frizzy and stuff. But you know, it's pretty businesslike, and yeah, and people were harried and going about their business, and as usual, stressed and strained by the system that they continue to seek to prop up and defend. So it was, and also it's a little disheartening where you're kind of trying to give people information, you know, flyer giving, and they're not interested in you at all, and you know what a powerful message that you're trying to bring to these people, and yet they shun you like you were, you know, the dirt on the shoe.
Although I was sitting in the van, obviously, while they were doing activism with Alexander, while Alexander was sleeping, and lots of people are reading the information on the van. So, you know, there's activism going on even while, you know, the van's parked up somewhere. When old ladies stood for a very long time, just sort of almost walking up and down past the bus just so she could catch all the information. So yeah, there's stuff going on that I didn't realise.
Was she muttering, "Mark Sargent, make another contribution"? Mark Sargent, was she muttering that? Is that what she was saying?
I think that's what she was saying.
Yeah, I think she might have been. Do one of those double up things. Is that what she was saying?
I think that's what she was saying.
But in Spanish.
In Spanish, obviously, but you're almost fluent in that kind of Spanish. Yeah.
I'll give you another one, Jason. There was 2 groups today where the majority of the people were shunning us, but there was one guy and one girl in one group that stood and kept asking questions while the rest of the group went away, and I was like, that's what we need. Those 2 get it, and they're gonna get the others to start looking into it as well. And there was another group that I don't remember how it worked, but I remember there was 2 big groups where the majority were shunning us, but 1 or 2 people stayed around, asked questions, took the flyers.
Yeah.
So that was nice, because normally you see the whole group would go away. So it's getting through to people bit by bit. It's getting easier.
Yeah, actually, it reminds me of hollering to a group of students. I think you joined the conversation at later on. So I'm hollering to this group of students, and some of them I can tell are responsive and they speak a bit of English, but the teacher starts to wade in and goes, you know, I'm trying to pass them some flyers, and she's which is like, don't touch the fucking flyers, right? So they're poisoned. And then so you come in and give the teacher, right, barracking. I don't know, what did you say to them?
Well, I said to the students,
in Spanish,
I said, we're asking you to check for yourselves. She's asking you to believe everything she says. Watch out, she's indoctrinating you.
Very good.
Yeah, that's a flat fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they were leaving, one of the students took a flyer. I was like, get in there. He was like,
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. It's having people who are brave enough to go against the grain. You know, lots of people, you know, as I say, they're blinkered and they want to follow like sheep, but you need a few that are just going to be strong enough to say, no, I'm going to think for myself.
Yeah, it's conforming, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. And we were unable to lay any chalk down today because we were over cobblestone, a very small cobblestone, so it wasn't practical, unfortunately. But I like how that adds to bringing people in for attention.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to this.
We are looking forward to Lisbon.
Yeah, I've never been to Portugal.
Well, we've been to Portugal, to Algarve, beautiful, and it's, you know, lovely part of the world. So excited to get out there.
It should be very international in this one as well, I guess. Most people speak English, I'm sure.
Yeah, and if they don't speak English, you just shout a bit louder, and then
you've got Google Translate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Typical English, isn't it?
They've gone all over Europe not speaking the language and manage, so Portugal's not going to stop you.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No.
And the truth's in plain sight. Don't matter what language you speak.
Yeah. I think also as well, next time we do a tour in Europe as well, you know, now that we've got some notice and we kind of know what we want, we need multi-language banners and the same for the flyers as well. You know, like we kind of need the flyers in their own languages. You know, like we didn't have the funds or time to actually do such a thing. You know, for this tour, but maybe next year.
It'd be really good if we had people meeting us in every country who's made their own flyer, so they could like share that with us. Like the Spanish one.
Like Howard's got his own flyers. He's got some amazing flyers. You know, like but yours are more of a truth flyer. It's not just a flat Earth, isn't it? You've got all sorts on there. You got like vaccines on there as well.
Yeah, in English, I've gone all in. The Spanish one I did first, and I just put chemtrails and 5G. And then when I did the English one, I put vaccines, GMO, mud flood, lots of things, because I thought if we can get someone if someone's interested in one thing, then we've got them. We can reel them in and say, now we've just got to join the dots because it's all connected.
Yes. Yeah.
Plenty of mud flood evidence here today.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Lots of mud flood evidence in Madrid, actually.
I think because I've struggled with mud floods, you know, like, but now that you can connect the dots between all the different countries, because this evidence is in the majority of every country that you've come to, you know, so far.
Yeah, windows at street level and the same types of, like, you know, reverse engineering of what seems to be having dug back into structures and so on. So yeah, no, it's hard to refute when you've looked around all these places and say, oh no, they were just digging in basements, all of these places, and these odd lines and odd shapes that, and even the proportions of the doors, you still see these grand doors, but they're not quite in proportion to the rest of the building, like they've been truncated. So, and you see this all over the place, and they'll say, oh, we've got a crypt beneath here and all this blah blah. But yeah, it seems, you know, I call it mud flood just for sake of ease of having a common reference point, but I don't know what it was, you know, or when it's happened, and if it's happened more than once. My suspicion is it has, and how the heck we forget, you know, if it's true that these things are happening in the last 100, 200, 300 years, how do we collectively forget such a thing? So yeah, I find it a very fascinating topic. I don't know why it upsets people, really, to look, you know, that are in flat Earth, to go, you know, we're on a plane. Planes do get flooded. You know, it's not on the meta scale. It's not that hard to conceive of sea levels rising massively. You know, so yeah, I mean, I allow for the possibility that there are vast tracts of cities and things that are buried underneath deserts, and that most of our history is mistaught, and there is something possibly important about it, but I don't lose sleep over mudflood. I just let it permeate as one of those incredible bylines in the story of how our human story has come to this point.
Yeah, but what do you think about mud floods, though?
I haven't had any. Oh, no, I won't go there. But so that's my take on it. And I think it's a fascinating thing because it's tangible. You can actually go into buildings yourself, and I have quite a lot now, particularly with open eyes. Say, oh, let's look at this and see how far they've gone into the basement, or how many stories they've gone down, and look at modern buildings today that they've. I don't mean modern buildings, these old buildings where modern offices are, and they say, oh yeah, we have to pump out the basement every now and again, or, all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, wouldn't the people that originally built this have had even more trouble with non-permeable barriers and things like that if they were building into the water, below the water table, or, water flooding into these windows and off the streets and so on, or ne'er-do-wells just popping an ankle through the window and finding their way into your property. So no, none of this really makes sense, and you see it all over the place. Large buildings typically, but smaller houses, poorer houses where there was no excuse for having servants in the basement and all that hoo-ha. No. When you go back and look at this, even that TV show Downton Abbey, if you go and look at the original plans, as I have, or the original floor layouts of that building, the building they used for that show, you'll find that the basement floor is actually more grand and more expansive than the current ground floor. So it hints at the original ground floor being this grand thing that is now subsumed by the floor level, and now they call that the basement for the servants. So yeah, it's all up for grabs and a very interesting topic. That's where
that's all good though.
How do I know this? Yeah. And are there any other thoughts on that? Or
I've seen temples in India that are half buried still. So and there's lots of them that have been excavated. So yeah, there's evidence all over the world of mud flood, cataclysms, whatever. There's been a definite reset, and they've wiped it out of our history books. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And it just justifies that if they can lie about history, if they can lie about weather control, if they can lie about space exploration,
science,
if they can lie about terrorism, if I'm allowed to say that without setting off any algorithms, it's important to help people see the bigger picture, I think. And at the end of the day, it's not just about the shape of the earth. It's about the mind control, the lies.
So who we are and what we
yeah.
are. I mean, there is definitely something massive, something incredible that's still being hidden from us. And I think that unpicking these bits are either part of a gradual release of the stuff or a gradual movement of the collective towards a knowing about our history, And we've all wanted to know. We want to understand history. We want to know history, but we want to know the true history. There's no need to. You can take the old kid gloves off, and tell us the truth about what we are. Does it open? This is why it troubles people. Is that it opens the specter for there being these cataclysmic moments where there's a sea change, and in a sudden moment, like they say the Pompeii was about a pyroclastic flow or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, what if it was more that kind of an event occurs and mud appears however it does, and people go away en masse. So does it raise that prospect? I suppose it must do. As part of the conversation around the fireplace, you're going to talk about, yes, that is a possibility, and one which Andrea and I have spoken about, and I know can cause consternation. But it's worth saying that if this is what is the cycle of nature or the cycle of the system, so be it. Be like Noah, prepared in the ark for such a thing. I'm not one who likes to labor on like gloom and doom, and you know, in my first years of looking into conspiracies, that's what all I was about, was it's also gloom and doom. But really, you know, it doesn't need to be that at all. And it's always whatever's happening, if we can bring our best game, our highest vibration, then surely whatever the outcome is, whatever timeline we're working to, we'll have done what we're supposed to.
And it's power in numbers. So if we can get rid of all these invisible borders that separate us, at the end of the day, we're all truth seekers. I hate the word anti-vaxxer because it's a trigger word. I hate the word chemtrail. I hate the word flat earth. I hate all that. But the point is, if we can all unite on a common ground that we're being lied to, poisoned, robbed, that's what will really bring down this hierarchy. Because at the moment, there's so many activists that aren't working together. And when we come together, for the history people, like I say, the chemtrail, the anti-vaxxers, even though I don't like that word, that's when we'll make a real big impact.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it takes masses to annihilate.
But it's also setting aside of that need to be right. You know, the books that I've read and the theories that I've developed in my head cannot be all that it is, you know. And but we get caught up with that, really, don't we? It has to be what I've read and how I've interpreted it. But it's all up for grabs. Water's level. That's a matter of fact, and we can build our sort of knowledge base on a flat chipboard rather than this curved nuts thing that they want us to think about. So there you go. A little bit of insight from the camper van there.
Yeah.
Did anybody see the stream from Trinity 4 this afternoon? Didn't you stream some fly on the wall stuff today?
Yes. There were some fly on the wall videos that we made today. Hopefully they've found their way to the thing.
Yeah.
I've seen a few. Can you remind me? I did see a few of them. There was oh god, can't even think. I watched I think I watched every one of them.
That's all right, mate.
I like the small ones.
Yeah, just a couple of little snapshot ones, and then maybe it's like we had a longer one when we were driving for a while, and there was a bit of a conversation. We have some fantastic conversations on this bus. It's right now at times when we're driving, we have a bit of time to talk or whatever, and of course we're all willing to hear some of the off the wall theories that we sometimes work with. So great conversations. It's just a matter of getting us feeling natural when the camera's running, you know what I mean, and having those conversations naturally. It's one of the toughest things. So sometimes you go, shit, this last half hour, if only I could go back and capture it without anybody even, needing to check a word that they've said and feel like they're being watched.
And no, next time on the bus, we don't need a camera constantly installed.
So I was thinking.
Yeah, we've already got Mark Sargent in our toilet.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, no, that would. I think lots of people in the chat would really like a 24-hour camera on the bus, so they'll have nighttime vision. They'll be able to just like maybe pay per click, like they could pay per view.
There's a beautiful cacophony of noises at nighttime. They go something like this.
It's okay. People will be with us all the time.
Yeah, there's a whole series of snoring noises that goes on, and of course there's no filter.
So I think it's right to say that in future you'll be streaming the odd fly on the wall thing on the Trinity 4 YouTube channel. So it might be worth that people would subscribe to that channel, and then they would get notifications for the fly on the wall sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, my channel's gone viral in the last few days anyway. I'm
So-
sure I've had 15 or 16 new subscribers.
Yeah, at least. So, which is good. Double figures is always good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, it's no, I think when you first started doing your your streams, Dave, I don't know. It was something so different, you know, like because you were talking about subjects that I wasn't kind of familiar with, and that, and you know, so I think at first it wasn't my cup of tea, but then you started growing on me and growing on me and growing on me, and then now I can't get enough of your your little what's it, strolls with Alex and that, and they've been fantastic. I actually enjoy, you know, like what I enjoy everything that you've got to say now. You know, it's you're an interesting bloke. You know?
Wow, that's a huge accolade. Really, that means a lot to me. Wow. But you remind me of these walks that I was having with Alexander. You know, for a long time in his life, we had for over a year, every single morning I walked with him. And then for some reasons things broke into that, and that sort of routine changed, and then he got older, and where he was wanting to stop and look at things, so we wouldn't get very far down the road in an hour. But that was a really special time, and I'm glad I cataloged some of that on the YouTube. It's been quite a story. But sorry, I don't want to deflect from you saying something very nice to me. Thank you so much.
No, I think I look back on some of my own stuff as well. You know, like I think we're all growing, and I suppose we've all got more enlightened things to say as we go through our journey as well. You know, like because we're all still learning. You know,
well, I had said this to someone today. It reminded me. The conversation came into my head when I was talking to someone that, you know, how I got to discover, you know, that the world I was living in had been laid over me and was mostly untrue, was that when I'd published my book about being in a war in 1987, I started researching to do a second book, because people were saying, you got to write another book, you know, that was pretty good. So I started researching on religion, thinking that I could maybe write a book that would get religious people to quit their squabbling, you know, and quit the wars and stuff like that. How naive I was. But so, and it was in going through that process that I realized that, shit, you know, I know nothing about how the world really works. How dare I write a book on these topics when I am actually quite ignorant, or nescient, I like to say. You know, I didn't know there was stuff I needed to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've come from a pretty low starting point just 5 years ago. And so it's great to be, because I now talk with people who've been looking at this stuff for 10 years and 20 years and so on. I know I took like a year and a half out of, you know, any regular work, so nearly cost me the marriage, because I was spending all my hours researching. But it, you know, helped me catch up and get on board with a whole bunch of stuff. It's a constant growing, of course, but I've come so far in 4 or 5 years, and I think most of us can, if we don't get stuck in, as I was in the beginning. I'd find a topic and just focus on that topic for months and months and months, you know. So when I went through 9/11, you know, I got in and out in about 3 months. You know, there's people that have been in it for 10 years and that's all they think about. Whereas, you know, I went through the entire gamut of, well, most of the knowledge on 9/11 and was totally fixated by 9/11. But just for 3 months, and then I was out and I was moving on. And the same was true with when it came to, you know, flat Earth. For me, flat Earth is a foundational truth, but it wasn't the truth that I could stop on. I had to keep moving, and I had the advantage also of having Andrea sort of then jumping on board, you know, realizing the flat Earth, and so willing to recast everything that she'd learned. And really sit up and pay attention, you know, switch off the freaking TV and all of those, you know, well, most of those sort of distractions that are put in front of us. And so that was the process, and why I think I had the advantage of having, you know, Andrea on board meant that she was starting to give me some of that right brain feminine energy stuff, the divine feminine stuff, you know, which I think is so important. You know, we come from a patriarchal masculine system, and so it's understandable that most of our thinking is around the kind of the left brain stuff, but we've got to balance left and right, hot and cold, yin and yang, and that's what hopefully I'm striving to do. And my message when I'm talking out there is to try and get people that kind of, yeah, this is both left and right, don't leave one behind.
Yeah, I've got a friend who wants to say a quick hello. it will be a quick one because we'll be closing the stream down very shortly. So it's that man, the Meekster.
Evening, guys.
Hey, Adam.
I saw Lisa was up, so I thought I'd say hello.
That's nice.
How you doing?
Hello, mate.
Still the sick bus, is it?
Well, I've still got a cold, but I'm recovering.
Ah, excellent. It's a good job Jason planned so many days off after I left.
Yes.
I know. It's a pretty different schedule to last week. Yeah.
I've been teasing him, Dave. I've been teasing him because I said, "What was that planning?" Took the only day out coming to my house for a day off where we could have had a proper good chill out.
Yeah.
And some of that Montepulciano, some local stuff. So yeah, but yeah, I can't help but keep checking in. I'm still missing you guys, so keep up the good work,
I
guys.
miss you too, and you brought a real special energy to the tour. There's no doubt about it, Adam Meakin. You are the Adam Meakin, and your participation in the tour is huge. So we miss you, and
I miss you guys as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, but we will, and we'll hook up again, and even do some activism. In fact, I was thinking about how I like the way we bounced off each other, you know, in and out of each other's conversations. Me bringing the verbiage, and you bringing some of the hard nail kind of data and information, you know, laying it down there.
Did you get those slideshows?
I did. What was the one with the music attached to it?
No music this time. No music. I sent you a load of Moongate stuff.
I haven't. I'm sorry, mate. I barely look at my phone. Truly, I barely look at my phone at the moment.
It was it was for you and Sven to have a little peruse over of the evening. Just a little bit of there's the cold moonlight data from my experimentation, and also John Savage's impossible moon phases, which you may be able to get one or two. So it's just there's some nice graphics there you might find useful. So I wish I'd had them. But,
yeah. I used your name in vain today because I spoke to some chemistry students, you know, and they're so clever in their chemistry, aren't they? You can't tell them anything. But I told them we had a chemist with us on tour recently, so yeah.
Cool.
And speaking of chemists, the chemist in Spain today spoke brilliant English when I got my tablets.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
These were drugs, were they?
They were drugs. Legal ones, though.
Well, then that's not really drugs, is it?
Thank God.
Well, the government's selling they're not drugs, I guess.
Yeah, drugs. Yeah. The government doesn't do drugs. The government says no to drugs.
Well,
so what the pharmacology isn't drugs. That's just good medicine.
Yeah, I'm getting all muddled up.
So you're going into medicine, are you? Which department? The butchery or the drug dealing?
I went to the left. Which was drug dealing.
Oh, the butchery. Yeah.
I'm sure the Roman policemen would be able to verify that you went to the left.
Well, it certainly does now. After he grabbed that right one. Quick, move back. Did you get my last old school song? I thought that would make you laugh, guys. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah, that's all right then. Cool.
Rap.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, that was cool, man. You are a multi-talented man, Mr. Meakin.
I have too much power in this shed.
And the Flat Earth community needs to bring more people like you into the light, and you know, those talents. There's so many talents around, to have them showcased and doing their thing.
The real musical talents sat opposite you, mate. That's
she's fantastic.
Yeah,
she has a wonderful voice, no doubt. It's incredible.
Yeah,
she does a cover of Amy Winehouse, and it's like hard to tell the two apart.
I couldn't believe that, Lisa, because when we got off the absolutely fantastic acoustics of the bus, because you play anything on there, it just sounds, especially if the engine's on. You've got a beautiful voice, mate. It was hard to know because I was sat here listening to the roundup, and that's when Chris had put it on one of the shows, hadn't he? It was yeah.
Yeah.
Needs showcasing, Duck, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Did James put a bit of your music on one of the
On one of them, yeah.
Yeah, maybe James could give that another go at some stage and put Lisa's, as Lisa is with us,
And
it would
she
make
was
sense to
phenomenal.
have some creativity from a member of the tour bus.
I could record more poems that relate to the subject.
Could do.
I've got plenty that are kind of really relevant.
I'll do
You
the
did with the other
beatboxing.
poem, because I mean I've got more songs to record as well, but I'm obviously not going to record them here, so maybe I can just do a poem in the meantime.
The shower toilet is no sound booth, is it, to record a song?
Well, no, but we're going to convert the garage. That's another conversion job that Jack is going to take care of in between driving and sleeping.
It's fine. Have you tried to get changed in there? You know, I went in there to try and change my pants, mate, and
What in the top in the
yeah,
cubicle?
I couldn't I couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
I had about
I nearly dislocated my elbow. Yeah.
With Mark Sargent watching.
With Mark Sargent watching, yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
So I have to say, you know, because we obviously got to spend some time with you, Mr. Meakin, on the camper van, and you know, I'm always fond of a man who's doesn't take himself too seriously, and you, having seen the color of your underwear, don't take yourself too seriously.
Right.
He wears very nice, bright colored underwear, I think, and that's the kind of man who doesn't take himself too seriously.
I'll let you into a little secret, sir.
Go on then, mate.
As a married man of many years, I've not picked my own underwear in the past 15 at least. So certainly my wife has a sense of humour.
Well, it's only brightened up my morning, you know.
Yeah. That's actually why I got divorced, because my wife used to pick my underwear for me. So you know,
as long as they're not too tight. As long as they're not too tight.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that lacy.
When I said chantilly, she came around with cream and not lace, and it was all very confusing.
Lace, it just chafes, mate. Too much lace, too chafes.
Yeah, it shows too much. Well, we won't go into them, but it's contours, you know. It's contours.
Man.
Oh, I wish I was there, you bastard.
Well, you know, there's there's plenty of space if you want to come and join us, Adam.
Yeah.
Is my cupboard still spare, Dave?
That's still your cupboard, mate.
Yeah.
That's what is known as Adam's cupboard.
Adam's cupboard, it's there, mate. Yeah. You've got...
Actually, we regret not starting a little tradition of signing people's names on the door here.
On this door?
In some kind of pen, marker pen. Just the people that visit it and stay on it, etc. You know, it's one of those things that we'll have to put on the to-do list for the future.
Oh, I was thinking I've got a good idea, actually. I think I've just come now to an idea.
Oh.
A donation-connected idea. Maybe people want to donate their signatures, their wish I was here or whatever. Surely you could scan that up and down and put them on stickers and then put them on the door.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And everybody would have like a personal message that we could put on the inside of the door. So when
you could buy a little square.
You could buy a square, what would we have?
I don't know, about 2x4 inch.
2x4 inch, you know.
6 inch, something like that.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you could get bigger ones for the.
Have a flat plate.
Yeah.
And then they could be.
Yeah, well, we definitely. Yeah, that's probably something we can work on. We'll build on that idea.
We'll build on that idea.
Yeah,
we'll build on. There's plenty of advertising space. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Oh, you know what else we?
I think you're right, guys. I think we should be allowed to sign the bus when she returns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think you'll have to come back, obviously, and sign on it sometime, and others, Dave and Lee, of course.
We could theoretically reserve those signature slots for people, couldn't we?
We could, yeah.
For a little fee.
Oh, so we'd have to be like border control.
Well, we would do that. We would just be, you know, we would stay with the times and do exactly how
So we could delineate the space on that door.
We could do that, yeah.
And then charge anybody if they want to use any of that space. Yeah. And if somebody wanted to move their logo to a different, more higher profile place, we'd have to make sure there was the necessary paperwork in place.
Well, then we'd have to get our admin people on the ball there pretty quickly, wouldn't we, Jason?
Has the bus collected any more paperwork?
And if we can set the people whose logos are on the bottom half off against the people who are on the top half, we might be able to get the ones at the bottom to pay over the odds to take over the space at the top, thus maintaining a form of control over the entire thing.
Yeah.
Andrea says the toilet's starting to overflow again. I need to back up on the shit.
Yeah.
So I'll back off on the shit for now, and I'll bid you all good night then. From the bus. Eh?
I think. Are there anybody? I can't see the chat, by the way. So is there anybody in there that has any questions or anything like that that I've missed, or that maybe someone's missed?
No, there's no one here. It's just us. We've been offline for ages. We're not live.
Oh, excellent.
You see what you want? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
The mudslide has reached Jason's door. Jason is sharing the same flooded toilet as we are.
I've just got a quick shout out to the chat. We were joined by I think he's still there. He's still there. Yeah, he's still there. Jose JG Gonzalez. So he got banned instantly and then let back in. So just to shout out, Jose, are you being nice? Are you being nice? That's all right.
Well, I hope so. I mean, this is a family show after all.
Yes. I just want him. I've posted the link, Jose, for the Globely
donations
GoFundMe page. Yeah. So I'm just saying, come on, fella, give it a shout out on your show. See if you can get some ballers to donate for us. Just even the price of a cup of coffee.
So we can help them disprove the flat Earth.
Yeah, because obviously we're making, they're making fools. We're making fools of ourselves, and we don't have very good arguments. So they must want us to go around town and video these poor arguments that we're making.
Yeah.
Against people who come with very robust and well thought out and educated defense, like the well-educated science teacher you spoke to earlier today.
Yeah.
Howard, she didn't want to talk to me, but she was happy to go toe to toe in Spanish.
Just to tell me that she was a scientist and I'm not.
To put you in your place.
What are your qualifications? And we all know that we've done more than most degree students to get to where we are. To know what we know.
Shout out to Jose. He's just said in chat. He's if he goes live tonight, he'll do that for us. So thanks, Jose. I appreciate it, bro. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Jose.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody in the chat listening to me now that can, Amanda probably is, just plonk the link for the Discord. That would be very, very nice. Because I know Lucy and John, I'm very forgetful with names, really bad with names. They wanted to know, and I wasn't too sure whether they caught it on yesterday's show. So they didn't. They'll have an opportunity tonight, I hope.
And to our American brethren who are attending their festival this weekend, have a wonderful flattening and enjoy all the camaraderie, because there is certainly some fantastic conversations to be had and connections to be made. It's always good to hang with. Well, most often, always good to hang with flat earthers.
And and to add to that, maybe a good idea to hook us up with them at some stage on Saturday.
Don't bring hookers into the.
Well, we won't bring hookers. We're not playing rugby. But
that kind of hooker.
That kind of hooker. Yes. No, so it'd be good if we could somehow get some. I don't know. Is their conference on this Saturday as well? Is it including Saturday?
I've just put on my share screen. It's Globebusters all on now. I watched Zach and Cammy again, courtesy of Ace McLeod earlier. It was really bad sound and visual, so I'm looking forward to a good copy at some point in the next day or so.
I did see that they were having the dog fight. Did you see that, Adam?
Oh no!
No, they had They had a a ball earth aeroplane that was flying around with a big sign, like to research the round Earth. So what they did was they managed to get 2 other planes in there, I believe. I only seen the one other, but I think it was 2 other planes that said research flat Earth. So they were having this dogfight above the convention, like with these 3 planes.
Baron von Richthofen was there in all his glory. The old, the Red Baron was probably one of them.
Yeah, well, I think it was Paul and the Plane and Journalism. They were filming that one outside the convention.
Nice.
So that'd be a really good watch.
Well, maybe if any of them hear that, they could perhaps upload it to the Discord. I know Paul on the Plane is part of our mod team, so if he ever hears that message, we'd appreciate him to put that up on the lobby or something for people to have a look at.
Yeah.
And I think the irony of bull believers or bull boys using a plane to defend their belief in a bull, whereas
it's actually even that was advertisement for us, because to research the round Earth, that's great. Research it. That's what we want. We want them to research the round Earth. That'd be fantastic. They'll find out that there's problems.
Yeah, but they do have gravity.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Magic of gravity.
Magic of gravity.
And they do have bendy water.
Anti-gravity.
They have
Sorry?
They also have bendy water.
Yeah, they have bendy water. Yeah.
Would it be fair to say? Would it be fair to say that we are anti-gravity? I think I'm anti-gravity, because for me, gravity is just a nonsense hoax made up to poison the minds. So yes, I'm very anti-gravity.
Yes, I suppose I am. Yes. I don't know if I'm anti-gravity.
Renaming the anti-gravity society is what we're going to rename ourselves. Bit of rebranding. We might use some Scottish tartan to give it a bit more clout.
So this essentially would be an anti-gravity device.
Yeah,
that we were using to get around Europe with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah.
Andrea, can you hear that they're filling up the toilet?
I'm gonna have to get Jack an empty.
Jack's sleeping, by the way, but you've got to wake him in a minute.
Adam, I need you to come back to the bus so you can empty the what is it called?
The cassette. You need to come empty the cassette.
Yeah. No, I was about to agree with them that sounds like the IFS is an anti-gravity device then. So I was about to join in the bullshit. So
yeah, Daddy coming. So
Alexander agrees.
Oh, you think so?
Alexander agrees.
Thank you, Zizi. Alexander's up and agreeing with you.
We have the youth on our side.
We really do.
And that's actually no joke. That's they're the most forthcoming conversations I've had since I've been here.
Well,
my 6th day.
Well, yeah. I mean, but Bordeaux though was all those great young conversations.
And even Frankfurt and even Union.
Oh yeah. That was. Hey, baby boy.
Hello.
Hey.
Alexander's easy in the house. He's
He's not covered at the moment.
He's not
so
covered. He's not covered by the insurance. He's not covered.
Yes.
To make sure that all our
You can't pass him.
Hello, Adam.
Hi,
it's Adam.
Evening, mate.
No, it's not.
Can you sing ABCD?
I filmed a bit of ABCs for you today, mate.
I'm leaning around trying to see him a bit more. Hey up, dude.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. You all right, Zizi?
Yeah. You've been watching trains?
We've been trying to go to sleep, but it's a bit noisy tonight.
It's a bit noisy in the house.
Daddy's talking too loud about all things that come out of the bottom.
Mud coming out of the
all things that come out the bottom. Like lava out of an Australian volcano.
Yeah, Daddy gonna come too.
Yeah,
Daddy gonna come too.
Yeah.
No, I might have to give him a minute.
Yeah.
Right then, guys. It's a good time to wrap it up there. Then, if you want, we've been going nearly an hour and a half.
Adam, pleasure as always.
Are you up for the night, or are you travelling anymore tonight?
This is us. We're parked for the night, and hopefully we could get rolling by 10 o'clock tomorrow, something like that.
Well, I hope we're not travelling tonight, because otherwise I've got a bit of a conundrum.
Oh, right. Where are you staying tonight?
I'm staying probably in the vicinity of yourselves, actually. Am I digging holes now? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to talk more on that tomorrow. We'll leave that little subject for another night.
We like to. Yeah,
we can expand on that one.
We can expand on that one at some stage
in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
We like surprises, don't we, Jason?
We do.
We do. Right. So just to tell everybody in the chat, they may or may not be a live stream update tomorrow night. We're unsure. They might be. It all depends if the guys are able to. I'll leave it up to you guys, and then if you're able to, then we will. If you're not, then we won't. Because I suppose you could do with a proper day off.
Well, yeah, I will still put something up on the vlog tomorrow for those in Discord who are keeping an eye out, just so that people are informed.
Yes,
I'll do that anyway, and we might well have a fly on the wall 5 minutes or 10 minutes thing tomorrow at some stage during the day. So watch out for Trinity Force channel.
Yeah,
subscribe and watch out for that. And
you never know. We might even do a bit of improvising.
Yeah,
we might come across some people that need to be told.
Yeah. Now we got a Spanish guy with us. That's right. We're in there every time.
Right. Anybody, if I learn anything with Dave, anybody Dave comes across is set for smacking. Even when you wake up in a truck stop, you wake up to hearing flat smacking people. So I'm sure there'll be a bit tomorrow. And Howard, I just want to wish you all the best, mate, and you have a great time on the bus as well, pal.
Yeah. And thanks very much, Howard, for joining us. Look forward to what's it about Portugal. Look forward to that. Anything else anyone wants to say before I hit the off button?
Just thank you to everybody who's watching. Thank you to all those who've donated.
Yes.
And to all those who are planning on donating, please remember that money helps us just to function here. It's not for anything spectacular for us privately. This is just to keep the wheels rolling. Literally, and I looked on the map today. We have
grueling in here.
We have toll roads coming up as well, so we're going to be going up again with costs in the next day or two. So it's all we have to always bear this in mind.
Sven, does the money even go towards giving you a bed this evening?
Me?
Yeah. Does it stretch that far?
No, it doesn't. Actually, it doesn't, and I'm not even lying. No, it doesn't.
Are you on the lino on the floor?
I'm not. Well.
That'll be me.
I was on the line on the floor, yes.
It's not a bad option. After
what was that?
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I roll off the lino. There we go.
It's not.
So I guess it's a good time to kind of say. You what? Sorry.
It's not a bad option being a tall guy. You won't be able to move that way, but at least you'll get your legs stretched out for the evening.
Yeah, I don't mind about the straight bit and stuff like that. It's the waking up like a frozen leg of lamb that kind of sort of hurts me a little bit, be used for stews or something like that. You can't use me anymore for a human. That's sort of moving me out, banging me against the door. And then enough of all that. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm sure we can do something. We'll definitely try and put some content out there.
Definitely.
And maybe if we can do a little thing together, that would be cool too, because we'd like to,
even on a day off.
If not, I'll see you in Iron Realms chat tomorrow, so we'll give you a shout out there. So
lovely.
Well, we'll try and catch that, Adam.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, buddy. Okay then, guys. See you soon, and all of you in the chat. Thank you very much.
Eddie coming.
Bye.
Like and share.
Cheers, guys.
The line's gonna have perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Just like a seed in a garden, you will grow to be tall. Staring out over miles of land without ever wanting to build up walls. Lift me up in your branches, we can watch the sunrise. Just a couple of bruised up souls that believe that it was worth one more try. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart and spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart and spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Just like a seed in a garden, you will grow to be tall. Staring out over miles of land without ever wanting to build up walls. Lift me up in your branches, we can watch the sunrise. Just a couple of bruised up souls that believe that it was worth one more try. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart and spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.